While some hotels leave you with a bad review, these ones leave you with a medical bill. From shower drains bubbling with brownish mystery soup, to black mold colonies that trigger 911 emergencies. These are the stays where guests checked in for a vacation and checked out with a diagnosis. Number 1. The Manhattan at Times Square Hotel. Back on our garbage hunting grind, guys. Let's start with the Manhattan at Times Square, a landmark that effortlessly merges the 24/7 excitement of Times Square with the hygiene standards of a medieval plague ship. This hotel was built during the heady Mad Men era, and it seems management has spent the last 60 years drinking like Don Draper and forgetting to hire a janitor. It is quite simply possibly the worst hotel I've ever stayed in. If you're looking for a very disappointing stay, you've come to the right place. The fun begins in the bathroom, where the bath is clogged, so when you shower, the water rises with brownish water causing health and safety concerns. It's less of a shower and more of a slow cooker for bacterial infections. If the sight of mystery soup doesn't thrill you, the lack of cleaning will. One guest found hair that wasn't theirs in the bathroom, while another noted that the carpets are covered in stains and the wallpaper's peeling. The infrastructure's actively screaming for help. There's a massive crack in the tile in the bathroom that looked like someone dropped a bowling ball on it, and a lovely rust stain all along the edge of the sink drain. For another unlucky guest, staying here for nearly a month was nothing short of a nightmare. It began in room 1118, which was absolutely appalling because the carpet reeked of mold and mildew. By day 2, the amenities included vomiting nonstop for 3 hours and developing a rash so severe that they ended up in the hospital for more than 10 hours. Even the air you breathe is a gamble. One guest reported that the air conditioner was so loud, I thought it would lift off in the middle of the night. Others dealt with broken climate control and a total lack of safety, including a room lock that was faulty and a balcony door that didn't lock properly. If you try to complain, you'll encounter the dishonest staff that lies to IHG corporate to cover up the issues, who acted like helping guests was a bother. This is a place where everything is broken and many laws and regulations are currently being breached. In short, this hotel is in a state of despair, and the quality of service is non-existent. The verdict is simple. Would not recommend this hotel at all. Unless you have a medical curiosity regarding brownish water and a bed that is only slightly better than sleeping on a wood plank, stay far away. The Manhattan at Times Square should not be recommended. Number 2. Extended Stay America, Austin. Welcome to Austin, Texas, a city that begs you to keep it weird. Though this specific hotel clearly interpreted that as a license to host a localized biological apocalypse. We're looking at the Extended Stay America Austin North Central, an establishment so hazardous that, as the Yelp page warns, Yelpers report this location is closed. This is a massive victory for the survival of our species, because as one disgusted traveler put it, "I'm so repulsed and my skin is crawling." Checking in here wasn't a vacation, it was a mandatory initiation into a cult of filth, where everything looks dirty and stained. If you have lungs, this hotel considered your breathing a personal affront. One guest, who described herself as severely asthmatic as well as newly pregnant, discovered that the no smoking facility status was merely a polite suggestion that everyone ignored. According to her account, there were constantly people lighting up in the hallway and eagerly starting on their smokes before even exiting the building. It was a perfect environment for a respiratory crisis, especially since, as another visitor noted, the hallways smelled like marijuana and the room stank of urine and marijuana. If the smoke didn't trigger a medical emergency, the unknown substances on all surfaces and the fact that there are roaches and roach feces on the walls certainly would. For one mother and daughter, the stay was a respiratory gauntlet where toxic black mold led to pneumonia, led to COVID-19. Forget room service, they received 911 first responders and oxygen levels of 85% hypoxia. The decor featured smears of what appeared to be blood and carpets so saturated with water that it would squish when you walked on it. Between the black mold on the bathroom tiles and the AC filters loaded with dust, breathing wasn't just difficult, it was a high-stakes survival sport. The hygiene standards were equally lethal, as one person noted that as soon as I got to my room and walked into the bathroom, there was poop in the toilet. If the plumbing didn't offend you, the kitchenette would, seeing as a guest claimed, "The fridge looks like a crime scene." In the bathroom, another traveler pointed out that the bathtub is black. Even the basic amenities were a threat. As one reviewer noted, the towels looked like they were barely cleaned. Sleep wasn't an escape, it was an invitation to a parasite buffet. One guest shared the horrifying outcome of her night, claiming she woke up in the morning covered in tiny bites. She was pretty sure there were bed bugs too, or some other kind of biting pests hidden under the top sheet, where the mattress had big splotchy yellow stains all over it. Safety was strictly elective in this dirty, little, smelly room. One visitor highlighted the death trap vibes, mentioning there were wires hanging out of the walls, missing smoke detector, cracked and chipped electrical sockets. To complete the aesthetic of a low-budget slasher flick, another guest found dried-up blood on the door. It was, as one person put it, one of the worst experiences I've had at a hotel. The final word from a survivor was simple: do not book. If you're ever in Austin, I wouldn't recommend staying here unless you're looking to marinate in human filth. Number 3. Princess Bayside Beach Hotel. Welcome to the Princess Bayside Beach Hotel, a destination that proves a waterfront view is usually just a clever distraction from the biological warfare happening inside your room. This place is an absolute dump and a horrible hotel that only survives because it's all about location. According to those who lived to tell the tale, if this place weren't in Ocean City, they'd be out of business within a couple of months. Let's dive into the culinary crown jewel, the seafood buffet. As one survivor put it, the only positive that came from my meal at Princess Bayside's seafood buffet is that I now know what the worst meal of my life was. This was the most sickening, disgusting, sits in your stomach like a brick meal I ever drunkenly ate. The menu featured fried calamari that must have been bottom-of-the-barrel dead ones that were probably cooked in a fryer that hadn't been cleaned since the year I was born. And peel-and-eat shrimp that looked like a $5 package you'd buy from Walmart, not shelled, with the poop line still inside. It takes a special kind of talent for a friend to remind us not to eat the seafood at a seafood buffet. But the real 5-star service happens after you leave. As the guest noted, your server readily admits that he's never eaten the food and then texts you hours later asking if you've gotten sick from the buffet yet. Nothing says fine dining like the fear that the lining of my stomach was dissolved by all the toxins from this black market discount seafood. If the food doesn't kill you, the atmosphere is happy to finish the job. The lobby welcomes you with an unpleasant odor, while the bar raises the stakes with a strong unpleasant odor similar to cat urine. The entire place smells like mold or mildew, and guests found that air filters in their room look like they haven't been cleaned in months. For those seeking a psychological breakdown, the hotel offers a 4 a.m. alarm service. One guest woke up at 4:45 a.m. to the screaming fire alarm, leading to a major panic attack and couldn't catch their breath. Just because some drunken asshole decided it would be a great idea to have a fire drill at 4 a.m. The locals are friendly too. Instead of a silly little leprechaun sitting on my pillow, I found a nice bedbug looking for some cuddles. If you try to wash the trauma away, be careful. The indoor pool looks like it has green algae and will give you a rash, while the other pool had way too much chlorine in the water and it burned. The verdict is simple. This is an unsafe, disgusting hotel. Between the insect infestation and the toilet that was unflushed, you should not stay here. Unless your dream vacation involves a rash or a server who checks on your survival via text, stay far away. Would not recommend this hotel at all. Number 4. Heritage Inn Express, Hayward, California. Welcome to the Heritage Inn Express in Hayward, California. A 1.4-star boss fight where the manager, Ela P., swear on their life that the hotel offers everything you need for a comfortable stay. Unfortunately for the people actually trapped there, It's the most disgusting place they've ever stayed. Forget a vacation, this is a drug motel where the hallway vibes at night are basically a meeting of the tweaker fest. If you enjoy having skin, you've been warned. One traveler got ate up by bedbugs and ended up in the ER, with huge bumps all over their face that were hurting and itchy. The doctors basically confirmed it was an infection from bacteria, most likely from their sheets and pillows. When the guest pulled up with the medical receipts, the manager said there was nothing they can do and refused to give them a refund. Another guest, currently being attacked by some biting bug right now, suggested the only logistical solution: burn the whole thing down to the ground. The housekeeping here is basically a crime scene investigation. One reviewer found broken bits of glass on carpet that were clearly parts of an effing meth pipe, along with pubic hair, cockroaches, and cobwebs. Looking under the bed is like opening a cursed loot box. One guest found a can of soup and some nasty female underwear. Hygiene isn't in the budget, seeing his beds come preloaded with someone else's hair and what looked to be bloodstains on the bed. Architecture? Groundbreaking. They fixed a hole in the wall that was filled with toilet paper. The amenities are pure comedy. The shower head was so low my boyfriend had to bend over to get under it. The carpet is a greasy feeling, the sink handle falls off, and the microwave makes a sound and is nasty. Thinking about a swim? The pool at some point was closed because of an electrocution risk and incorrect chemical levels or disease risk. It's not a pool, it's a spicy petri dish. Privacy? Never heard of her. One couple was getting down to business when their door suddenly flies open. The basic robotic front desk staff had just handed their key to a previous guest who wanted to retrieve a shoe. The parking lot is also a PvP zone. One woman reported a lady hit my husband's car and put a dent with her door. Between the terrified 2 a.m. knocks and the several beer bottles sitting in front of my door, the bad vibes are immaculate. This shitbag of a hotel needs to be closed down.